Throughout our interview tonight, Mr. Blake, I'm struck by the fact that you seem not to separate art, politics, and religion. Is this true?
Yes, I ask in Jerusalem rhetorically, are not religion and politics the same thing? And both are redeemed in art. All are one in human imagination, science and technology as well. Even ingenious machines, which I hear can now fly and have reached the island and the moon that I imagined in my London workroom in 1784, derive from this. Mark well, what is now proved was once only imagined. Understanding the architecture of the imagination, in which religion and politics, art and science are one, arms me for mental warfare. I go into the battle able to clarify the structures of our received systems of thought. To cast out error, you must first clarify it.
As I was preparing for our interview, I read that you have a Socratic countenance, which is true, but you also have his extravagance of purpose, who spoke as if his words were not just for our pleasure, but for our survival. Some would say that your claims for art are a bit extravagant. For example, your demand in one of your poems, "Mark well my words, they are of your eternal salvation." You sound like a prophet. And you call some of your works prophecies, such as America. As we say now, you're in our face. Where does this urgency as a poet painter come from?
Ezekiel. The prophet shares with your North American tribes, which I understand your country of liberty is destroying, the desire of raising other men into a perception of the infinite. And I still believe what I wrote 40 years ago. The desire of man being infinite, the possession is infinite and himself infinite. Yet every honest man is a prophet. He utters his opinion both of private and public matters. Thus, if you go on so, the result is so. He never says, such a thing shall happen, let you do what you will. A prophet is a seer, not an arbitrary dictator. I do not wish to irritate by seeming too obstinate in poetic pursuits. But if all the world should set their faces against this, I have orders to set my face like a flint, as Ezekiel says, against their face.
So are you simply an honest man or are you a seer?
Like the prophets, I've made a career of being on the outside looking in, though, ironically, my strongest conviction is that man subsists by brotherhood and universal love. Man liveth not by self alone, but in his brother's face. In fact, without friendship and brotherhood, man is not. Yet the functions I perform within society, as opposed to how I've made my living as a printmaker, are questionable. Satirist, poet, prophet, I offer a guide to poetic thought that incarnates the poetic genius. What I teach is how to read and how to see. I give you new images, a new language, for it is this that produces new men and women.
Rather large order. Isn't this rather ambitious?
No, if you simply enter into my images and make friends of them, my works form the kind of spectator reader that they require. Some have said my Jerusalem is, as you put it, difficult. Recall that the wisest of the ancients, such as Moses and Socrates, Homer and Plato, considered what is too explicit as the fittest for instruction because it rouses, and not explicit, because it rouses the faculties to act. In the end, yes, I'm unbending. At the same time, obscurity is neither the source of the sublime nor of anything else, and a great majority of fellow mortals can elucidate my visions, and particularly they have been elucidated by children. You decide whether or not I'm a seer.